All right, I want to talk to you right now about becoming limitless, fearless, and relentless. There's times in our lives where everything starts to come together. Or you get introduced to a business or a spouse or a significant other, and then everything just happens from there. And so, God doesn't make junk. And when you look at our opportunity, it's come to all of us at different times in our lives. And so I want to give you 8 points about how to become more limitless, more fearless, and more relentless. But I just first of all want to walk you through a little bit of our story. This is my family. My father passed away just before COVID. I got to spend a ton of time with him because of this amazing business, because I started believing that I could become limitless. I could become relentless, and I could become fearless. I went out and built a business that allowed me the time to spend with my late father while he was in his final years. And I'll tell more of that story. These are my 2 brothers that I grew up with, obviously, and had a blast. There's me, the Harry Potter kid of our family. But we're a farming family. So how can a farm kid become limitless? How could we go out and become fearless and relentless and develop this business that Jamie just talked about? It all comes down to making decisions. And, I got involved with various businesses. Anyone ever tried network marketing? I tried everything. I was trying to find my way to become successful. Daniel Prett did a great job of calling me a serial failure. I tried all these businesses, never really did great at any one of them. We kind of did okay. Went from there and I went into other businesses after this. I tried all these other businesses and franchises and consulting and sales, and it was just on and on and on. And so, how does someone like us become successful after so many failures? Well, we had to think differently. We had to change our way of thinking, because it doesn't matter how many times you fail. You only have to succeed one time. Does that make sense? You can have terrible relationships, but only need one good one to get married and have a beautiful marriage and relationship and a family, right? And so here's Stephanie. She was an immigrant family. Her mom and dad came on the boat. So who's to say they could not become limitless? Who told them they couldn't do it? Who told them they couldn't come to Canada? Who told them they couldn't become successful and own multiple pizza franchises and own 3 at a time and become, wealthy in our country and become debt-free in our country, own homes paid off in our country? Who said they couldn't do it? Nobody's telling you can't do it. That's the problem with so many of us. We believe others out there, and we somehow buy into the fact that we don't think we can become limitless, fearless, and relentless. And so why not become a limitless couple? When we got together from this industry, it taught us that we could do more together as a couple, and we could dominate more and do more. And so we got to do so many amazing things together, and our lives are so blessed. We're so honored. We've done so many amazing things because of thinking outside the box. And then in 2018, a very fateful meeting happened where we started to believe we could become even more limitless, more fearless, and even more relentless because of this model. And we didn't even know how powerful the model was until we started going to the States and realizing that almost everyone we sat with, everyone all of you agents are sitting with right now, is going, this is probably the best model ever created in the industry. There's no better time for you to start believing now to become relentless, fearless, and limitless. So how do you do it? Well, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, just like a marriage, just like raising kids, just like going through school, just like passing grades, just like anything, getting the exam done. There's 8 ways to become a limitless achiever. But to remember, every master was once a disaster. I was not like this. You saw all my failures. I started this industry $116,000 in credit card debt, right? This is like 20 years ago. And so how could I believe that I could even become anything when I was such a failure or felt like one? You just have to make a mindset decision and maybe follow some of these points. Setting clear goals, having clear goals, short-term, long-term, and then break them down into manageable goals you can accomplish daily. That's step 1. Number 2, a lot of people focus on making progress, focus on making progress and improving every day. Right. And so that's the key to setting goals, is just constant improvement, that 1% improvement every day. Number 2, expand your belief in your self-image. You cannot out-earn your self-image. If you keep thinking, as Jamie was talking about, if you don't believe that you can become more, you never will. If you keep hanging around people like Rosin and Rana were saying that don't support you, you're never going to get to where you need to go. And so that's the true problem with our businesses, is our self-belief. And so for a lot of people, you don't look at yourself as a little kitty cat, a little helpless little kitty cat in the world. Start believing you're a lioness. Start believing you're a lion in the jungle, right? And you wake up in the morning, you're going to go hunting. You're going to go attacking. You're going to go dominate. You're going to go roaring in the jungle. Too many of us think so small of ourselves, but that I'm going to show you that so many people have gone from this, kitty cat image to align us and to align in our company. And so what happens is you have to think outside your comfort zone, because as you grow in our business, you start to grow your compensation, you grow your title, you grow your promotion level, and that allows you to start accessing more of those goals and dreams. So you have to start having a higher self-image of yourself from right now. There's nothing stopping you. There's nobody telling you that you can't have a higher self-image. Now, you can't go maybe buy the Bugatti right now, right? So maybe that's a limitation. But if you think limitless, then you will eventually get to that level. How did that gentleman be able to buy a $2 million car? Well, he obviously started somewhere. He was born like all of us, eats like us, 24 hours in a day. Why did he do it and we didn't? He had a bigger limitless thinking. So number 3, focus on progress, not perfection. Some people say, well, I need to know everything before I do anything. That is the biggest mistake in the world. Nobody knew everything before they did anything, right? They did everything they could to know everything, right? And so here, don't get bogged down by perfectionists, right? Focus on making progress and improving each day, and you will see yourself go from the left side of this screen to the right side in due time. And some people have done it in record time. Some are doing it in slower times. It doesn't matter. When you start thinking limitlessly, then you don't have to worry about the fact that, you know, whether I get it done today or this week or next month or this year or next year, as long as you do it and change the course of your family's history forever. Number 4, develop a growth mindset. Failure is an opportunity to grow. You can learn to do anything you want to do. The challenges are what makes you grow. And so again, good feedback is constructive. Try new things. Be inspired by the success of others. So that growth mindset is you're thinking about growing yourself, your life, your relationships, your business, your friendships, your family, and you're in that growth mindset. So stop thinking about poverty mindset, poor me mindset. Oh gosh, I was on the wrong side of the street, or I'm the wrong color, I'm the wrong race, I'm the wrong sex. That has nothing to do with success. Morgan Freeman said it best recently on an interview. He says, look at me. He goes, oh, you think it's you know, this or that? He says, no, look at us. We're successful. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. You have to think differently, no matter what background you came from. Number 5, focus on self-improvement. I'm a big believer. These are 2 of my favorite books of all time. If you haven't read them, please read them, study them, read them again, read them 2-3 times, because you continuously work on yourself. You continuously get better and better and better all the time. And that's a very, very powerful part. By reading books and videos, attending the events, taking courses to expand your knowledge. I mean, Hernan Rodriguez wants to be a great leader. He already is a great leader, but he wants to fine tune. He's taking a pretty expensive course right now on leadership. And I'm so proud of this dude because, you know, he doesn't have to do it. He probably could just get away with it and probably use his skills of all his worldly travels and ventures, but he wants to be the best leader. And so I'm super proud of that dude for doing that and wanting to become better. The CEO Top Mondays, I never miss these because Jamie is also a great leader that I need to learn from. He's built a team of almost 3,000 licensed agents and hundreds of ring earners and hundreds of large owners of businesses in Experior. I still got to learn from that dude, right? And it's amazing to know I can learn from them. I learn from our product partners on Thursdays, how do products work in the States as we grow there, and of course across Canada. Team trainings weekly, very important to keep improving and attending your ED meetings, etc. Number 6, developing strong habits. You change your habits, you change your life. We all know this. Why don't we do it, right? The famous story of the December, year-end goals, and then the gym's busy in January, it's busy in February, then by March, everyone starts to fall off again, right? But developing habits will help you achieve your goals. Prospect daily and everywhere. That social content Rosin and Rana were talking about. Set a daily routine for social media. Attend the events and training. It's a habitual thing. It's like working out 5 times a week, 4 times a week. You won't see the results right away, but you'll see it compounded over time in any industry. Doesn't matter what you do. The more you commit to your own industry and business, the more faster you'll get successful there as well. So get the AOAs off to a fast start becomes a habit. Asking for referrals becomes a habit. Setting a minimum standard of operation for yourself becomes a habit of operation, right? Don't set low standards because you're going to get low results, right? Always challenge yourself to grow, like that slide about the growth to reach your goals and dreams, right? You can't out-earn your self-image. You got to grow your image, grow your mindset. Number 7, this was talked about. Surround yourself with like-minded people. My wife and I got rid of a lot of negative people out of our lives, including some family. They're wondering why we don't hang out anymore, wondering why we don't get together. I'm like, they kind of know, but I don't really want to say it, but they kind of know, right? So have people around you with similar goals and values. It's hard to become wealthier hanging around broke people and crybabies, right? And they're always crying and whining about the past and this, and it was my dad, it was my mom, it was a bad upbringing. Listen, you have a choice to make in life, whether you want to excel or whether you want to buy into all the BS, right? So seek out mentors and role models. It may not be your direct executive director. You might reach out to other EDs. A whole bunch of my team plug into Frank's Wednesday morning training. He does an awesome job, the best I've ever seen, one of the best ever. So why would I not want them to get that information? Some leaders try to shield their people from other training. I mean, that's the dumbest thing you can do, right? The smartest thing you do is realize you can't be everything to everybody. So I know that if I was, I'd be, maybe bigger than this whole company, but I'm not, because I need to still learn and grow. And so I have a lot to learn myself. So, but again, by seeking out those mentors and coaches, they can help you develop yourself into more limitless, relentless, and fearless thinking. Work with committed team members, spend the majority of your time. Leaders, work with your most committed people. It's okay if they're not committed. They can plug into our system and learn and grow, but work with your most committed people to grow quickly. Work with your committed executive directors. Not every executive director is fully committed, right? But work with your most committed ones there so you can grow them and help them grow. You want to put your effort and time into where to grow so you can help your team become more limitless, right? And I'm so proud of this team for winning that award, Gene. That was a very cool award. When you said power couple, I was like, oh, I think that's us, right? But when I saw Matthew won and his numbers, like if you add all those together, it's a pretty cool thing. But again, we're working with the committed people. Number 8, and the final point, you got to stay motivated. You got to find a way to stay motivated, because it's too easy to give up in life. It's too easy to doubt yourself. It's too easy to say, I don't have much invested here. When we bought our franchise, our Booster Juice in Calgary, and we'd invested my last money into that model, I didn't want to quit on that. I didn't want to walk away from it. But we had a terrible location, terrible sales, got robbed 3 times, had just so many bad things went on in that mall. It was crazy. But we had to stay motivated. But the good news of that was I met this industry through that model. So how crazy is that? So find ways to stay motivated and inspired. Watch Jamie's YouTube channel, positive affirmations, visualizing success, attending the events, music, speakers, seek inspiration from others as well. I watch a lot of, Bet David stuff and Ed Milet stuff and all the leaders here and all our leaders here. By re-watching this convention, you're going to get a lot out of that. Stay plugged into our ecosystem. That's going to help you stay motivated. As soon as I see somebody not coming to weekly trainings, they're going to be about a month or 2 months away from being out of the business. Every time. You got to stay plugged in weekly. If you're believing, if you have a faith, you go to church once a week at least, right? We went twice a week for the most part in my upbringing. But, we know that you got to plug into that ecosystem and keep charged up. So why is it time to become limitless, fearless, relentless? So I want you to look at this, and Daniel Pretty also did a great job here on this area. But why not become an Entrepreneur's Launch Qualifier? Who said you couldn't do this? Who said you can't surge the business and help the company grow to 3,000? Who said you couldn't pass your provincial exam? Go get it done. Become limitless. Who said you couldn't become an SFA? Who told you couldn't become an SM promotion, Judy? Who said Tisha, you couldn't be an SM in this business? Who said you couldn't think outside the box, become more limitless? Who said Lucci couldn't become an SM here? Who said Annie couldn't become an executive director? Who told her from her young age, hey, you'll never become an executive director in a future company? Now, nobody can tell you that. Nobody can take that away from you, but you. So you have to start believing who believe they could become an ED and a shareholder. Jock and Meredith. Simon have become a shareholder in Xperia. He was an ED grandfather over, but then he went and did the volume to become a shareholder. All these shareholders believed they could do it, or maybe they didn't at one point, but they started believing more limitless, relentless, and fearless thinking. And we got 38 people just in our organization, Jamie, and there's hundreds in the company now. But think about that. How about Trevor and Cecily Baker getting their rings? Who said they couldn't do it? Who said all these people couldn't do it? Look at the cultures, races, and people here. Look at all the different backgrounds. Look at their different, where they came from, their jobs and careers before. Who said they couldn't do it? They start thinking differently outside the box. Same with all these people and the more recent ones. And we're so proud of them because they start thinking more limitless thinking. They start expanding their vision, their self-image. They start thinking about growth mindset, and they start to act accordingly with their thoughts. If you don't get congruent with your thoughts, if your thoughts are deceiving you, right, and you're betraying yourself with bad thoughts, it's going to harm you. So you got to be ready to take out this. Look at this guy. Went from being on the gangs in the street to being now he's almost a $250,000 earner with us, and he's killing it right now. I'm so proud of this dude. Who said you can't be a limitless couple and work together? Who says you can't, Hernan, make 100 agents in this business, in this industry? Who said you couldn't do almost 200 already, Eric and Mary? Who said you couldn't hit 200, now already at 220, Onkar? Who said, Delroy, you couldn't do 200 and on your way to 300? Who said you couldn't do 200, Myron Tasso, and on the way to 247, on your way to 300? Relly, who said you could? He's still driving a damn truck right now. He's still driving a truck. He's got 200 agents in his team, right? He can't wait to get out of there, but he's at 220 already. Andrea, our amazing woman, this lady's just powering up women in our company right now, and she's making a stand and promoting that we need to get more women in the leadership levels, and we are and we will, but she set the stage. She set the tone for women in our company. I'm so proud of her. Look at her growth right now. This guy, Bhupinder Chima, quiet giant, just keeps building and growing. Now it's 630. Who said he couldn't do it? Who said he couldn't do it again for a previous company? Look at this guy, Frank the Tank. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Who is this guy? And now he's got 1,000 licensed agents with him and Yolanda and his family. And so he's changing their legacy forever right now. But look at this dude. Who said a Costco guy couldn't become successful here? Do you think he had to think outside the box? Do you think he had to be more fearless, more relentless, and more limitless thinking? He had to have that to get here. How about this couple? An immigrant, immigrant family to Canada. My dad immigrated through America, through Ukraine and Poland. And look at that. A Harry Potter can make success here too, right? So how about these guys qualifying for a trip? Who said they couldn't do it? Who said this couple couldn't become crusaders in our team? Vladimir and Jessica. Who said this guy couldn't become a crusader and got another award today for helping more families? Matt Stewart and his wife, Karen. Who said this couple couldn't be an MVP of a company one day? Who said this guy couldn't become an MVP? Here's the crazy thing. Who said these people could not become part of our executive leadership council? And Francis and Diane Cindy had to make a decision whether to send their kids back to Philippines or keep them here and fight for their family. And they stood their ground. They fought with limitless belief, fearless belief, and relentless belief. And they kept their family together here in this country. I'm so proud of that couple. And I heard that story. It's giving me crazy goosebumps. How about Aditha and Wilson leaving everything behind from the Philippines, coming to Canada? And all these leaders here, Baljeet, Morrow, all these great leaders. How about this? How about getting out of a dead-end job and going from the left to the right, like Robert Kiyosaki says, become limitless there? How about getting all this? Who says you can't have this? Who says this isn't meant for you? Only society says that. Yes. Business leaders and big thinkers don't say that to you. Get around those kinds of people. Who says you can't have a limitless family and take them on nice vacations? Who says you can't be the limitless godfather and godmother? Who says they couldn't have that? Who says you can't be limitless founders? Who says you can't break all-time records in an all-time company of all-time pandemic times? We can do it. Who says you can't build a business right across the U.S.? Nobody but you. Who says you can't build a legacy? And the last thing I'll end on is this. When you need this business the most, when your mother is 33 days in the hospital and she's on her deathbed, and I could be there every day. We stayed overnight 24 hours a day in ICU because we could be there. We were there for her every day and every night for 25 days in a row, taking shifts with our family because we built a business that didn't demand I had to go back to my job. I had to go or I lose my career. Or you'll get fired if you don't come back to work, Darren Golka, tomorrow. Jamie Land never once told me I have to do anything. They said, be with your mom. Go be there. Our team said, go be with her. Be there as much as you need. We got it, Darren. We got this covered. So many teammates. 33 days, guys. 25 in ICU. She's now got all the tubes out of her body, all the electrodes out of her heart, all the side tubes draining her lungs. Everything has been taken out of her body now. Even the feeding tube is gone. She's got one small, thing in there to take some blood to do some testing. She's probably another 7 to 10 days away from coming home after almost 45 days. It'll be in the hospital. And when you need to be there for your family, you're going to darn well wish you became limitless, fearless, and relentless so you could have that time with your family when they need you the most. That's the most important part of this. Now she's up and running. Thumbs are up. I'm so proud of her. My mom was an inspiration to me my whole life, encouraging me to think bigger, study harder, work harder, focus more, pass those exams, become the top in your class. She did that for me. So I think it'd be unjust if I didn't come and spend that time with her. Even if I guess I would have had a job, I probably would have lost a job by now. But I built this business with limitless thinking and fearless thinking and relentless thinking so I could be there for her. And I'm going to go see her again today. That's why I want all of you to become limitless, fearless, and relentless, because you deserve it. You know, you weren't put on this planet to be average or ordinary. That means you were meant to be great. You got to go do it and capture this moment in time because you'll never regret it the rest of your life. You just got to do it one time, folks. Thank you very much, Jamie. It's a great honor to be here.